Good evening, everybody. The North Bridgeville City Council meeting is now in session. Today is Monday, September 19th, 2022. Please rise for the invocation and the pledge of allegiance. Father, we thank you for the opportunity to gather together. We ask for your guidance, wisdom, your support as we begin our meetings. Help us engage in meaningful conversation, meaningful discussion, allowing us to be the leaders that we were elected to be. We ask you to bless our meeting this evening, all those present, as well as all the lives that we encounter each day. We ask these things in your name. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Clerk, please call the roll.
Swank.
Here.
Bruce. Here. Stevens.
Here.
Winkle.
Here.
Haywood.
Here.
Breeze. Here. Jacobs.
Here.
There. He will be here. Safety Service Director.
Here.
Law Director.
Here.
Engineer.
Here.
Auditor.
Here.
Clerk of Council. Here.
All right, tonight under the approval of minutes, we have the city council meeting minutes dated September 6th, 2022. Are there any changes or corrections to those minutes? Hearing none, the minutes are approved as submitted. Brings us to our lobby session. In a moment, I will open the lobby session to allow the audience an opportunity to address the city council as well as the city administration regarding the matters that pertain to the business of council or the general affairs of the city. Anybody wishing to speak, we ask that you please speak from the podium only, and you will be allowed up to 3 minutes. We ask that you begin by stating your name and address for the record. So at this time, the lobby session is open. I do have one submission so far, Mr. Ringwald, if you'd like to approach the podium. Again, just please state your name and address for the record, and then your 3 minutes will begin.
Rudy Ringwald, 31966 Center Ridge Road, here in North Ridgeville. I'm here again about the Center Ridge Sewer Project. First of all, let me say that I just want to say that the paving job that they've done is atrocious. And I'm really disappointed that the city is accepting that type of work. I certainly hope they're not. I understand that ODOT is supposed to be paving next year, but that type of work should never be accepted by the city. It's very shocking. Second thing is I reported a sinkhole that has occurred at my clean out from the sewer project. That was reported on 8/22 to the engineering department. Mr. Runyon did come out and take a look at it after I emailed him twice. He said that he thought it was settling of the pipe, which is unsettling to me because now I want to know exactly what made it settle, because it poured a ton of gravel underneath that pipe. And now is the fall wrong that's going across the street into the main. This should have been investigated by the city and the contractor immediately. I don't know why it hasn't. I've emailed you, Mr. Rodriguez, and the engineering department several times, today being another time. So, Mr. Rodriguez, do you have an answer?
Through the chair, we have been in response to Mr. Ringwald and will continue to do so.
Well, I hope it's investigated and fixed soon. And just another note, there's grass netting, rotting straw bales, and other things that's across the street from me. There's other places along the job site. It's been there for over 2 months. It's just very shoddy work by the contractor, and the engineering department should be looking into this and making the contractor take care of what needs to be done. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Ringwald. Is there anybody else present this evening who would like to address council or the administration? Okay, hearing none, the lobby session is now closed. We'll move on to administrator's reports. Normally we do begin with the mayor, but tonight we'll start with the Safety Service Director.
I certainly do apologize for Kevin not being here on time tonight. I know that they had one opportunity to be out at Pioneer Ridge to speak about One Vision, One North Ridgeville. I'm sure there was a large crowd. They were expecting at least 40 and maybe more people. My guess is there was a lot of questions and maybe lost sight of his time. But he will be here. There's no question about it, to give his report that I wish I had and I could read it, but I do not. From my side, we're about at the end of doing our asphalting for our service crews. We're on McKinley right now, over there straightening that road out and doing some work there that was badly needed and has been under much discussion over the last several years. We are straightening that road out and taking down quite a few shrubs, if not trees, fairly large ones, in order to get that road straight so that we could actually move in and full maggot and asphalt and put a base down instead of having a gravel street that we've got there now with some asphalt underneath it. That completes my report this evening, and hopefully we'll reserve time for the mayor when he does get here. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Senior Service Director. Mr. Engineer.
Thank you, Council President. Just a couple comments on Mr. Ringlaw's lobby session. We have been out. There has been a walkthrough of the project with the contractor. The contractor is aware of the punch list. I'm sure they'll be working on that punch list in the very near future. Also, I want to take this opportunity to let everyone know that I will be resigning from the City of North Ridgeville Engineering Department, position of city engineer, if you hadn't already heard, effective October 3rd, 2022. This was not an easy decision to make, as the past 5 years has been a very rewarding time in my career. I've enjoyed working with the city staff and managing a very successful team dedicated to producing quality capital improvement projects, delivering them in a timely manner and within budgetary constraints. I would also like to thank the staff of the engineering department for all their hard work. The staff of the engineering department, in my opinion, is second to none. And they deserve all the credit for making sure capital improvement projects are done according to plan specifications, along with all the day-to-day activities of the department. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank the mayor's office and his administrative staff, city council, and all the city employees that I've worked with over the past 5 years. It's been my pleasure to work hand in hand with everybody. I wish the city of North Ridgeville, especially in the engineering department, all the best. And if I could be of any assistance during the transition, please do not hesitate to call. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Auditor.
Thank you, Council President. Before Council tonight is T-139, which is legislation amending the 2022 appropriations. I would like to ask Council to consider adopting this legislation this evening and adding the emergency clause to provide the auditor's office the necessary resources to meet our financial obligations. Thank you. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Please note that the auditor has also provided council with the August 2022 financial report. Before we move on to other reports, we'll circle back to the mayor.
And check and be asking where that project currently and learn more about these proposals. On Thursday, the 22nd, there's another coffee and conversation here in City Council Chambers at 8:30 to 9:30 a.m. On Friday, September 30th, there is a senior center spaghetti dinner from 5 to 7 p.m. Tickets are $8 for adults, $7 for seniors, $5 for children 10 and under. And as always, it is spaghetti and meatball dinner that is available with side salad and bread. Pop and dessert are extra for $1 a piece. And you can either dine in or take out. And it is the Lions Club that is sponsoring this spaghetti dinner. On October 1st, we're having the Safety and Health Fair at Fire Station 1. That is it's a Saturday and it's from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And that is an annual event where we have food, bounce houses, face painting, and other fun activities for kids. There's information tables with fire safety and health tips for adults and children. You can see fire trucks, ambulances, and all that. And there'll be some police cars and street department trucks as well. There's the possibility of a helicopter landing, but that is weather dependent. And it is a free event. And at this point, I make a motion to adjourn into executive session for the purpose of talking about public employment, public employment and the sale or purchase of land.
Second.
It was moved by the mayor, seconded by Booth, go into executive session for the purpose of discussing public employment and the sale and or purchase of land. Clerk, please call the roll.
Wink,
Yes.
Booth,
Yes.
Stevens,
Yes.
Lincoln,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
DeVries,
Yes.
Jacobs.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, we will adjourn into executive session. Yeah. No, it went well. What's up, Marty? How you doing? Thank you, everybody, for your patience. Council is now in open session. Mr. Mayor, if you want to continue with your report.
That is the end of my report, Mr. President. Thank you.
Okay. So under other reports tonight, we've also received the August 2022 Fire Department report as well as the August 2022 Mayor's Report report. There are no council committee reports or correspondence this evening. We do have some new business. It is a new liquor permit request. Clerk, if you could please read the request.
A request from the Ohio Division of Liquor Control for a new permit request for Between the Fun Bar and Grill at 34445 Center Ridge Road.
Mr. President,
Yes, Mr. Booth.
I'll make a motion not to request a hearing so that this permit can be sent to the state for final disposition by October 11th, 2022.
Second.
Motion was made by Booth and seconded by Swank to not request a hearing, so this permit can be sent to the state for final disposition by the deadline. Clerk, please call the roll.
Swing,
Yes.
Booth,
Yes.
Stevens,
Yes.
Winkle, abstain. Haywood,
Yes.
DeVries,
Yes.
Jacobs.
Yes.
Motion carries.
That brings us to recess.
Mr. President,
Yes, Mr. Booth.
make a motion to dispense with recess.
Second.
It was moved by Booth, seconded by Winkle to dispense with recess. All in favor, say yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All opposed, say no. And that brings us to first readings. First, we have T 139.
P 139, 2022, an ordinance amending ordinance number 5889-2021 of the city of North Ridgeville, Ohio, providing appropriations for the period commencing January 1st, 2022 and ending December 31st, 2022.
Mr. President,
Yes, Mr. DeVries.
motion to dispense with second and third reading.
Second.
It was moved by DeVries and seconded by Avens to dispense with the second and third readings for T 139. Are there any comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor say yes.
Yes.
All opposed, you know.
Mr. President,
Yes, Mr. DeVries.
motion to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, motion to add the emergency clause for the reasons stated by the auditor to meet our financial obligations in a timely manner.
Second.
It was moved by DeVries and seconded by Avens to add the emergency clause to T 139 for the reasons stated earlier by the auditor. And that emergency clause alone, all in favor, say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, say no. It was then moved by DeVries and seconded by Avens to adopt T 139 with the emergency clause in place. At this time, are there any comments or questions? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Swink,
Yes.
Booth.
Yes.
Avens,
Yes.
Winkle,
Yes.
Haywood,
Yes.
DeVries,
Yes.
Jacobs.
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously and becomes ordinance number 5993-2022.
T 140.
T 140-2022, an ordinance amending ordinance number 5937-2022, which authorized the mayor to advertise for bids and enter into a contract according to law in a manner prescribed by law with the lowest and best bidder for the 2022 full depth concrete pavement replacement project and other appurtenances by increasing the previously approved amount from $550,000 to $590,000.
Mr. President,
Yes, Mr. Booth.
I make a motion to dispense with second and third readings.
Second.
Motion was made by Booth, seconded by Winkle to dispense with the second and third readings for T 140. Are there any comments or questions?
Mr. President,
Yes.
yeah, concrete pad replacement is one of the key things that we can do in our city every year for the street improvements, especially in our older part of town. And it mentions Albert, Dorchester, Lee, Millwood, Nicole, and the intersection of Washington Boulevard and Monroe Lane. All of these are in dire need and have been in dire need of replacement. And I am glad that the city is able to appropriate an additional $40,000 to make sure that these repairs are happening.
Very good. Are there any additional comments or questions? Again, the motion was made by Bruce and seconded by Wakefield to dispense with the second and third readings for T 140. All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
All opposed, say no.
Mr. President, make a motion to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, make a motion to add the emergencies so that this work can be completed before the water breaks.
Second.
It was moved by Bruce and seconded by Wakefield to add the emergency clause to T 140 for the reasons stated by Mr. Bruce. On the emergency clause alone, all in favor, say yes. All opposed, say no. It was then moved by Bruce, seconded by Winkle to adopt T 140 with the emergency clause in place. This time, are there any additional comments or questions? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Swink,
Yes.
Booth,
Yes.
Havens,
Yes.
Winkle,
Yes.
Haywick,
Yes.
DeVries,
Yes.
Jacobs.
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously and becomes ordinance number 5994-2022.
T 141.
T 141-2022, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to negotiate and enter into a contract according to law in a manner prescribed by law with the lowest and best bidder for the relocation, installation of a new influent screening system at the French Creek wastewater treatment plant not to exceed $800,000.
T 142.
T 142-2022, PID number 117554, ODOT project title Municipal Bridge Inspection Program Renewal 2023. An ordinance cooperating with the Director of the Ohio Department of Transportation, giving legislative consent for the bridge inspection program services.
T 143.
T 143-2022, an ordinance authorizing the mayor of the city of North Ridgeville to enter into a contract according to law and in a manner prescribed by law with the planning next for the city of North Ridgeville 2023 master plan not to exceed $157,000.
Brings us to second readings this evening. Clerk, please read T 130.
T 130-2022, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract according to law and in a manner prescribed by law with EJM Environmental Incorporated to provide environmental professional services required by the abandoned gas station program grant not to exceed $250,000. Mr. President,
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
move to dispense with the third reading. Second.
It's moved by the mayor and seconded by Wakefield to dispense with the third reading for T 130. Are there any comments or questions?
Mr. President, this is a grant that we're receiving to move forward with the remediation of the corner of the southwest corner of 83 and Center Ridge, and we'd like to get that project moving, please.
Are there any additional comments or questions? Yes, Mr. Bruce.
Through the chair, this is a reimbursement grant or do we get paid up front?
No, this is a reimbursement.
Okay, thank you.
Any additional comments? Okay, again, the motion was made by the mayor and seconded by Wakefield to dispense with the third reading for T 130. All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
All opposed, say no.
Mr. President, move to adopt. Second. Mr. President, move to add the emergency clause so that we can clean up that property of any environmental hazards. Second.
It was moved by the mayor, seconded by Winkle to add the emergency clause to T 130 for the reasons just stated by the mayor. On the emergency clause alone, all in favor, say yes.
Yes.
All opposed, say no. It was then moved by the mayor and seconded by Winkle to adopt T 130 with that emergency clause in place. At this time, are there any comments or questions? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Swink,
Yes.
Booth,
Yes.
Havens,
Yes.
Winkle,
Yes.
Haywick,
Yes.
DeVries,
Yes.
Jacobs.
Yes.
Motion carried. It becomes ordinance number 5995-2022.
T 131.
T 131-2022, an ordinance accepting certain streets improvements located in the Meadow Lake subdivision number 12 and dedicating them for public purposes.
T 132.
T 132-2022, an ordinance accepting certain streets improvements located in the Lifestyles of Meadow Lakes subdivision number 1 and dedicating them for public purposes.
T 133,
T 133-2022, an ordinance accepting certain streets improvements located in the Lifestyles of Meadow Lakes subdivision number 2 and dedicating them for public purposes.
T 134,
T 134-2022, an ordinance giving the mayor the authority to enter into an agreement with Isomer Group Incorporated to pay the city's share of the cost for the turning/deceleration lane at the intersection of Bagley Road and Lorraine Road in an amount not to exceed $60,100.94.
moving on to third readings. First, T 123,
T 123-2022, a resolution revising community reinvestment area requirements by amending resolution number 768-94.
Mr. President,
yes, Mrs. Swing.
Move to adopt.
second,
It was moved by Swank, and seconded by Winkle to adopt T 123. This time, are there any comments or questions? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Swink,
Yes.
Booth,
Yes.
Havens,
Yes.
Winkle,
yes,
Haywood,
Yes.
DeVries,
Yes.
Jacobs.
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously and becomes resolution number 1576-2022.
T 125,
T 125-2022, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to advertise for bids and enter into a contract according to law in a manner prescribed by law with the lowest and best bidder for the roadway extension of Cypress Avenue to an intersecting point with Lorraine Road in an amount not to exceed $1,400,000.
Mr. President, move to adopt.
Second.
it was moved by Winkle and seconded by DeVries to adopt T 125. This time, are there any comments or questions? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Swink,
Yes.
Booth,
Yes.
Havens,
Yes.
Winkle,
Yes,
Haywood,
Yes.
DeVries,
Yes.
Jacobs.
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously. It becomes ordinance number 5996-2022.
T 126,
T 126-2022, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to advertise for bids and enter into a contract according to law in a manner prescribed by law with the lowest and best bidder for the replacement of water mains and other appurtenances on Stony Ridge Road in the city of North Ridgeville in an amount not to exceed $400,000.
Mr. President,
yes, Mr. Booth.
take a motion to adopt.
Second.
Motion was made by Bruce, seconded by Swain to adopt T 126. Any comments or questions?
Mr. President,
Yes,
to add the emergency clause to T 126. We have 3 engineering projects that are on third readings here. We're, I believe, ready to move forward with this particular project. And so I'd like to get this one started sooner than the other 2 that are going to be coming due in 30 days.
Second.
The motion was made by the mayor and seconded by Bruce to add the emergency clause to T 126 to get the project started as soon as possible. On the emergency clause alone, all in favor say yes.
Yes.
All opposed say no. It was then moved by Bruce, seconded by Swink to adopt T 126 with emergency clause in place. This time, are there any additional comments or questions?
Mr. President.
Yes, Mr. Bruce?
Yeah, I've noted in the past, the city's been very aggressive over the last several years in repairing the water mains that have a high propensity to have issues with them. And so this is one more project that's going to solve a lot of issues down in that area. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bruce. Any additional comments? All right, hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Swink,
Yes.
Booth.
Yes.
Havens.
Yes.
Winkle,
Yes.
Haywood,
Yes.
DeVries,
Yes.
Jacobs.
Yes.
Motion carries. Ordinance number 5997-2022.
T-129.
T-129-2022. An ordinance authorizing the mayor to advertise for bids and enter into a contract according to law and in a manner prescribed by law with the lowest and best bidder for the extension of a water main and other appurtenances on Mills Road in the city of North Ridgeville in an amount not to exceed $400,000. Mr. President, move to adopt.
Second.
Motion was made by Winkle, seconded by Booth to adopt T-129. This time, are there any comments or questions? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Swink?
Yes.
Booth?
Yes.
Avens?
Yes.
Winkle?
Yes.
Haywood?
Yes.
DeVries?
Yes.
Jacobs?
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously and becomes ordinance number 5998-2022.
As for meeting announcements, there will be a committee of the whole meeting to discuss fireworks legislation on Monday, October 3rd, 2022 at 6:15 p.m. here in council chambers. Following the committee of the whole meeting on that same day, and then Monday, October 3rd, 2022, will be the next regular council meeting. And the council meeting will begin promptly at 7 p.m. as usual. Do any of the council members or administration have any final comments or questions this evening?
Thank you for your service, Dan.
Thank you, Jack.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I was gonna also add, Dan, thank you for your professionalism, your expertise, and your dedication to the city over the years, and we certainly wish you the best.
Thank you.
Right, if there's no additional comments or questions, the meeting is adjourned.